Oh boy, only the second episode and things are already heating up. And I'm not just talking about the time loom.
Nice to meet you. We're all gonna die.
The second episode is appropriately titled Breaking Brad, which is an Easter egg I don't think I need to explain to anyone. It begins as Loki and Mobius travel to the year 1977 in London on the Sacred Timeline, on a mission to find Sylvie. But Loki straight away can tell there's no way Sylvie's here, it is far too peaceful. However, they do find Hunter X5, who had apparently gone AWOL, and they decided to catch him and question him about Sylvie. As they walk down the street, you might have noticed this Eternals Easter egg, a Kingo movie poster. X5, now living as a famous actor, Brad Wolfe, is attending a premiere of his new movie. We see him recognizing Mobius, which confirms this isn't a variant, but indeed our beloved asshole from the previous episode. After noticing Loki is there as well, he tries to make his escape, but our favorite trickster is having none of it. After some Tom and Jerry-like shenanigans, a few illusions, and the coolest shadow trick that even would have made Houdini jealous, they get his ass with barely any inconvenience. And let me just say, seeing this Loki that managed to even fool Mobius, after a while, I feel like our chaotic god of mischief is back. Also, if you pay close attention, you'll notice that the real Loki amongst the two duplicates was the one that was doing the same nervous tick he got from his mother. After successfully catching X5, they detain him at the Time Variance Authority office and bring Ouroboros his modified tempad. Ouroboros basically tells them to fuck off because he's trying to make this whole place not blow up, and Loki and Mobius, being forced to finally read the TVA guidebook, try to decipher the mystery of X5's tempad themselves. Casey, the always diligent TVA worker, comes in with a bombshell revelation. He accessed Ravonna Renslayer's tempad history. What secrets is she hiding? And why is she getting help from Miss Minutes? Loki then drops another bombshell. When he was in the past, he discovered that Renslayer was closely tied to He Who Remains. History would probably say they were just quote unquote really good friends. The best boy, Casey, is once again the only brain cell in the group project that actually did his homework and discovers that X5's tempad isn't blocking tracking like X5 previously insisted. Loki, Mobius, and B-15 gear up for a good cop, bad cop interrogation. X5 remains tight-lipped during the interrogation, getting under the skin of both Loki and Mobius. Our buddy cop duo takes a break in the cafeteria, enjoying some lime pie, where Loki reminisces about good old times when he basically forced Avengers to assemble and stop his invasion on New York, while Mobius confides in Loki about his lack of interest in rediscovering his own past. Yes, even though it might have included jet skis, our man is having it rough. This little chit chat gives them an idea though. They figure out X5 probably wants to go back to the life that he built on this timeline ASAP, and they plan to use that against him in interrogation part 2. But this time, no good cop, bad cop, only god of mischief and his brainfuckery. Is that a word? Well, now it is. Loki, with Gizmo and some of his signature trickery, does what he does best and finally pressures X5 into freaking out. Brad Wolfe might be a good actor, but don't forget Loki's a master scriptwriter. Just remember this gem from Thor Ragnarok. After he quote-unquote locks Mobius out and gets a one-on-one with X5, he bamboozles the heck out of him, making him reveal that Sylvie has created a new life on a branching timeline. Meanwhile, Ouroboros is hard at work trying to stabilize the temporal loom. However, he discovers he can't access the blast doors. He informs B-15 and Casey that only the creator of the system, He Who Remains, can lift the containment with a live scan of their temporal aura. But He Who Remains is gone. Their only hope now is to somehow get Miss Minutes to override the system lock. See guys, this is why you always say please when asking ChatGPT for something. You're gonna wanna have AI on your side one day. But with Miss Minutes going rogue, they're probably going to have to catch a Kang variant to scan their aura. And I believe this is where Victor Timely will come into play. Or possibly a Kang variant we saw stopped in Quantumania. It's still weird to me that he went down hella easy, but let me know what you guys think. X5 reluctantly leads Loki and Mobius to a timeline where Sylvie works at McDonald's in Broxton, Oklahoma. And the reunion is awkward. And I'm not talking about the McDonald's ice cream machine not working. Mobius and X5 grab some snacks while Loki tries to get answers from Sylvie about the TVA's impending disaster. Sylvie, however, wants nothing to do with the TVA anymore and refuses to listen about Loki's time slipping and warnings about He Who Remains variants. You can quickly tell there's a long road ahead before these two can get on the same page again, with Sylvie believing she gave everyone freedom and Loki believing this freedom will certainly bring a multiversal disaster. Mobius senses something is off about X5 and pushes him to reveal the truth. Sylvie enchants X5, discovering that Dox and her loyalists are planning to prune all branching timelines. This is where we finally discover why X5's and the rest of the squad's tempads were modified, to allow them to open multiple time doors simultaneously and wipe out all unwanted timelines from existence at once. As Dox's plans are set in motion, Loki, Sylvie, and their TVA allies confront the loyalists, and Casey and Ouroboros work on disarming the reset charges. The trio finally arrives at the TVA office, only to realize that Dox has successfully pruned countless branching timelines, causing untold casualties. I guess they really should have had OB look at that temp pad after all. Now, this scene might actually be a setup for Deadpool 3. Think about it. Someone goes to prune Deadpool's branch, Deadpools them and gets a hold of their temp pad. And we know Deadpool and time traveling doesn't go well. Anyways, as the episode comes to an end, employee of the month, year, millennia, Casey gets a hit on Renslayer's temp pad, discovering her whereabouts. She was most likely getting away from a timeline that was getting pruned. I wonder if we'll see what branch she was visiting and why. If you have any guesses, I'd like to hear them. We see Loki and Sylvie are still on rocky ground as Sylvie firmly believes that the TVA is the problem and decides to return to her timeline if it's not deleted. We then see that it's not, as she's chilling on the hood of a car with He Who Remains temp pad still in her possession. And with that, episode 2 concludes, and with this one, we didn't get any post-credit scenes. I hope you guys did better than me and Googled it if there was one before sitting through all of them. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and tap that bell button so you can see our next episode breakdown. And if you want to catch up on everything that happened in season 1, check out this video right here. We walk through everything in 10 minutes. I'll see you over there, and keep being a legend.